All right, we're going to talk about the real secret to fitness. Here's the real secret. If you fall in love with it, you never stop doing it. Duh, but it's a hard thing to do. We're going to talk about that. How can you fall in love with fitness? How can you catch fire for fitness so it becomes your thing, and then you never have to worry about stopping because you love it? Let's get into it.
That's the secret.
Yes, it is.
Love it.
Listen, have you guys ever met somebody that genuinely loves fitness who doesn't do it? No.
Yeah.
That's it right there.
What do you think? Do you think
It's
that
impossible.
the people that do fall in love with it were like kind of like meant to fall in love with it? Or do you think that anybody can learn to fall in love with it?
Such a great question. Such a great question. If I didn't train people for 20 years, I would have maybe thought it was the first one. But I trained enough people over 20 years, and it took me the last of the back half of that, because the first half of that I wasn't good at this, but the back half of this of my career, the last 10 years, this started to become the focus. This is where I placed my energy, and it became a success story. And a large percentage of my clients, the majority of them in the back half, I got them here. Now, they didn't become fitness fanatics. There's a difference. A fitness fanatic is actually somebody who struggles with working out too much, who struggles with it becoming too high of a priority. And these people tend to work in fitness. When I'm talking about fall in love with fitness, it's like, I had a good, and I know you guys did too. We talked about this. Where I got pretty good at getting people who struggled with being consistent through training and coaching and working with me over the years to where they loved it. It was a part of their life, and they never stopped. To this day, there's many of these people that I'll see or talk to who still work out, who I remember when they hired me, it was an on, off again struggle. So you can do it. You definitely can do it.
Yeah, and I think the general public, I'm sure there's that sense, like when you kind of propose that question, where their perception of the gym is like, well, they love it already, and these people are already gravitating towards it. I'm just not that kind of person, and it's like this self-fulfilling kind of justification, when in fact, yes, there's. And I think that's always been sort of something I've wanted to address is like, what are the different ways we can present it? How many different angles can we find to, for that one thing to really resonate to that person that, yes, it is for you. It's literally for everybody, but we have to find that pathway for you that it makes sense for you to get in and enjoy it.
Totally.
100% everybody can fall in love with it. And I think of a lot of it like the same misunderstanding that I had around falling in love with a person. There was a misunderstanding around that too. I think a lot of times people walk around and they think they're just going to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right, and this overwhelming feeling, you'll know will happen. But
the feeling's always going to be there.
Yeah. And I remember later in my adult life learning that love is a choice. It's action. And so if you are waiting to fall in love with fitness, because you don't right now, and you don't choose to love it, then you may never find it, and it'll never happen for you. And so it takes action. You have to start to take action. And what, to Justin's point, maybe the way that you tried to fall in love with it, the modality, the extreme dieting, the trainer or person who sent you in the wrong direction or who didn't meet you where you were at, convinced you that loving fitness wasn't for you. No, it's not true at all. We just need to figure out where you're at, meet you where you're at, connect the dots to the other parts of your life than maybe the ones that you don't care about or the ones that you've been misled about. There's so many other things that, every other aspect of your life, the healthier version of you enjoys and that thing more. So let's take the exercise, nutrition part out of it. And so if I have a client in front of me who says, I hate to work out, I hate exercise, I hate fitness. Okay, tell me what you love.
Yeah.
Oh, I love spending time with my kids. I love to travel. I love to play basketball. I love to, you love all these other
nature,
things.
Whatever it is.
Okay, so my defense to health and fitness is that all those things that you just love, do you really love those things? Guess what? I can enhance all of them.
That's right.
Your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your spouse, when you travel and go places, all these other things that you've already agreed or decided that you love, the healthier, stronger, fitter version of you enjoys all those things exponentially.
Magnified it.
So if you can learn to find a way to live a healthier, fitter, stronger life, even though maybe you don't enjoy going to the gym and you don't enjoy sacrificing the wine every night or exercise, what you will enjoy are the results from that and how it impacts the other things in your life, which then tends to result in maybe I do like this thing a little bit more. So I absolutely believe that everybody, even somebody listening who thinks they hate exercise or hates working out and nutrition or making food, healthy food choices, you absolutely can learn to love it. The key and what good coaches do is they help those people connect the dots to the things that those people have already agreed they love, and how pursuing a healthier version of themselves makes all those things so much better.
Yeah, I like what you said about loving an individual, because that's what you're talking about is a relationship.
Yeah.
And what do we refer to when we talk about fitness? It's a relationship.
It is, yeah.
It is a relationship that you build with it. And if you do it the right way, the relationship develops into one that enhances, what perfectly said, Adam, enhances the rest of your life. So I love that example. I think that's a very accurate example. I think one of the challenges with this is that the media and industry part of fitness by far oversells one of the effects of being fit and healthy, which is how you look. Now that's a real effect.
Sure.
Okay, it's a visible effect. It is a real effect. If the fit and healthy version of you looks different than the less fit, less healthy version of you, and you tend to be leaner, you've got better muscle, maybe you look more attractive, you look more vibrant, maybe you look more youthful. That's true, but what we've done is we've sold that so heavily that becomes not just one of the many values, but it becomes
Their North Star.
the best value, or worse, the only value. The only reason why I work out is because I want to look this way. The only reason I work out is because I want to look more attractive, because I want to lose body fat to look a particular way, because I want to look younger. And when you do that, this relationship you build with fitness will become a toxic one.
Yeah, it's exactly parallel to a relationship with another person.
That's right.
The most shallow version of that relationship is just to focus on their looks and that feeling you get by being attracted to them. How long does that last?
Yeah.
And how, what can you build off of that? It's a very narrow scope.
We also have a sale. We have a new program bundle. It's called the Couples Bundle. MAPS Aesthetic, MAPS Hit, MAPS Muscle Momming, and the No BS 6-pack formula. That entire bundle is over 50% off. Head over to mpvalentine.com. Here's what they've done is that, by the way, it's not just the fitness industry. All industries sex sells. That's what they say, right? What they're really referring to is attractiveness, beauty, or what we would consider to be youthful beauty. In fact, that's all we think of as beauty, is this youthful beauty. And all industries sell that so much that the idea is, if I look a particular way, I'll have this dramatic improvement in my life. By the way, the data doesn't support this at all. At all. I remember Arthur Brooks, who's a Harvard professor, expert on happiness. Wonderful man, but he's an expert on this. And he said, if you were on a scale of 1 to 10 of beauty, like physical beauty, if you were a 6 and you spent all your time, money, and energy going from a 6 to a 9, your happiness level would barely change, if at all. So it's actually, they oversold it to us, everybody. Not only did they oversell it to us, but it's actually the side effect. It's not the main effect. The main effect of fitness is not the way you look. The way you look is actually a side effect. And so what we've done is we've taken the side effect, put it way up here, and said, this is why I'm working out, and this is why I'm eating healthy, and it's going to let you down. It's going to let you down. And hey, by the way, God forbid you actually achieve what you think that ideal is, you're going to really find out it sucks.
Yeah.
And you may actually become addicted in a way that's very unhealthy, which we see in the fitness industry, represented by many fitness influencers who are communicating this terrible message. So the key to how to catch fire for fitness starts with this. It starts with realizing all of the non-visual, non-aesthetic, non-beauty-based benefits of fitness. Now, you might think to yourself when I'm saying that, like, well, yeah, duh. Like, okay, of course there's lots of other benefits. No. We only notice what we focus on. This is a psychological fact that's been tested many times. There's this famous study that I've shared many times on the show. You could watch it on YouTube. I'm going to give it away now, so it's not going to work on you because I'm going to give you the secret to it. But there's this famous video where you've got 10 people passing a basketball to each other back and forth. And as you watch the video, there's a professor that comes out before it starts and he says, count how many times the ball is being passed. And so you watch the video and you count like 1 time, 2 times. And as they're passing the ball, these participants are walking around each other. And so it kind of looks, you got to really pay attention who's passing the ball. At the end of the video, you expect the professor to come out and say, how many times did the ball get passed? And you've got your number, 14 or whatever. And he says, did you see the gorilla? You're like, what? They rewind the video. And you'd see for the first time, a man in a gorilla suit walks right through the group.
Yep.
You didn't even notice it. Right. Walks right in front of your view, right in front of your vision, wasn't registered because you were only paying attention to the ball being passed. In other words, if you're working out and the main reason, the thing that you want, the thing that you're focusing on is how I look, all you're going to notice is that you're going to miss all this other wonderful things that are happening, and you will never develop a complete relationship with fitness. It will never develop into a long-lasting, forever relationship. It just won't. My favorite people to talk to on this specific subject were always my members that used to come into my gyms who were in their 60s and 70s, who were consistent. I used to love talking. It was like my favorite members. And you would see them because you would know who they were, not just because they looked fit, but because they were so consistent. They were like your regulars. Like you'd come in typically in the morning, sometimes late morning, and I'd see them come in every, 5 days a week or something, or 4 days a week. And I'd see them come in, they're super consistent, like clockwork, they're retired, and they'd show up, great attitude, they'd come and do the same, they do a workout, leave. And so when you're managing a gym, if you're a good manager, you want to know your members, right? It's like this is my home. And so I want to know the people. So I'd start talking to these people. And being a fitness guy, I was always curious. And the number one question was always like, how long have you been doing this? And what do you love about it? Because I was just curious, like, man, you look like you're in your 60s, I'm guessing. This is what I'm thinking. And you're so consistent. You look great. You got all this energy. Like, how long have you been doing this? And I would always ask them, hey, man, how long have you been working out? 40 years, 50 years, 30 years. And I'd be like, whoa, why do you keep doing it? What do you love about it? And I would expect them to say things like, I like my biceps, or I'm jacked, or it makes me look good. Yeah. That was never the answer. No. That was never the answer. It was always something like, oh man, I like the way I feel. Gives me so much mental clarity.
It's like purpose to get out of bed in the
makes
morning.
Me happy.
Yeah.
I love seeing the people that are in here. It was like all this stuff that I didn't anticipate. And then of course, as I got older and continued training people and working with people, I realized that they figured it out. And so these are the things that you focus on with fitness. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If you focus on those things, here's how I sell it to you. Because part of my job is to sell to you the right things. Because I know that the other guys sell the wrong things and they sell it very effectively. It's real easy to sell the wrong things, by the way. I could sell the wrong things all day long. Super simple. Lose 30 pounds in 30 days, take this pill. And people will buy it. Or else, show before and afters and do this thing and it'll work or whatever. But here's how I sell it to you. If you focus on all those other things, the side effect that will occur, guaranteed, is the physical visual changes. You will get leaner. You will build muscle. You will look more attractive. You'll get all those wonderful things as a side effect. But the main effect is I'm developing, because a relationship is something you develop, right? People have been married for 50 years. They didn't have that solid relationship in year 1 or even year 5. It took time. You develop a relationship with fitness where you'll never stop. And it changes based on your life. The rigidity around it isn't what you think. It's like, man, there was a period of time when I had kids And so I had to change my workout, or my work was real busy, or I got sick that one time, had that thing that happened. So my workouts changed to make me feel, better as a result. I remember the first time I experienced that, I had a close family member who was battling cancer. This was a 2-year ordeal. It was very stressful, very difficult. And I remember finding myself working out just to alleviate stress. And it totally changed my workouts. I wasn't going in there like pushing the weights and whatever. And it was like,
It's so moldable.
yeah,
Like you can do just a therapeutic movement session. You can have a high intensity session. You can have a long endurance session where it builds all this cognitive clarity. There's just so many different ways you can utilize fitness in your life, and it enhances, to the earlier point, so many facets of your life.
Isn't it interesting that I feel like there's a lot of things in our life that the relationship, right? If you don't figure that piece out, like listening to you, obviously I started it off by talking about the relationship with another person and how this is similar to with choosing to love. I also, listening to you talk about it, think about your relationship with money. If you're always pursuing more money, and you don't realize,
or buying things.
yeah, exactly. If you don't realize, like one of the best parts of it is it's a tool to gain back time. It's a tool to give and help others. It's a tool to like provide safety, protection. All the, like, if you don't connect the dots to the benefits of more of it and then what to do with it, then you always end up just moving the goalpost and trying to fill this
Never
empty.
happy.
Never happy. And just another zero gets out of the bank account, and it's just like, and you thought, but when you started on that, if I was just this rich, or I had just this much money.
You know what's it's so crazy what you're saying too. First of all, there's wonderful data to support what you're saying. So not to get off on a tangent, but when they look at how money affects happiness, buying things is the worst way to do it. Buying experience is a little bit better. Giving money to help people voluntarily produces the same amount of happiness every time you think about that thing you did for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Buying something will never do that.
No.
In fact, here's how you know. Buy something and then go buy it again, see if you feel the same thing.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
But you give money in a genuine way, really help somebody, for the rest of your life, when you hear about it, when you talk about it, man, I remember that time I helped, you'll feel the same.
Yeah.
And the data totally supports
And if
it.
you don't unlock that and figure that out along the way, then you end up having this really unhealthy relationship.
Here's how you know, okay? Because here's what the data will show you, that being leaner, having more muscle means that you're happier. It means that you're healthier. But I could very easily find 10 people with a low body fat percentage with a lot of muscle, and I could show you that they're very unhealthy. I could show you their labs that they're very unhealthy, okay? I could very easily pick those people. Most of them will probably be fitness influencers. So the reason why the data shows leaner muscle equates happiness is because of what I said earlier. It's not because of the way they look. There's a lot of people that look that way that are not healthy, both physiologically or mentally. But we've got it all twisted and mixed up. And if you don't aim for what we're saying, you're destined for one of two things. Either one, you're going to go on and off, on and off, on and off, eventually ending with off, because you'll get sick of that. Or two, and I don't know which one's worse, you'll become the body-obsessed fitness fanatic who they can't age. They just can't age, and they constantly throw things at themselves and find themselves getting more and more desperate as life goes on. Yeah. And we know people like that. So, but that's it. That's it right there. And if you approach it the way we're saying, the right methods and the right diet actually starts to follow as well. It's so long as the root of why you're doing it.
Yeah, if you really struggle with this, I think it's a valuable. This is why we always talk about the value of a good personal trainer. You know,
that's what they do.
A really good trainer and a coach. I think this is what's the most valuable part about them. Anybody who's had experience in this can put together macros and a decent workout program, but a really good coach can find kind of where somebody can take somebody who says, I hate to work out. I'm not into it.
Find your buttons.
Yeah. And figure out what that is, meet that person where they're at, and then really help that person connect to the things that they already know that they love in their life. Once you can do that, you unlock something that's really special that motivates you to, because to your point, if you reach a level of like peak physical looks and fitness, it's cool when you get there, but it's short lived.
Yeah.
And then if you haven't learned to connect the dots to all these other things, then it's really tough to stay
It's panic.
motivated to keep doing this thing because you're already like, okay, well, I did the thing and yeah, it was cool. I mean, I was cool that day and it felt really cool. But then it's like, but okay, now I don't care anymore. And I know what it took to do that. And that was such hard work and sacrifice. Like, I'll go back. But you have to really connect it to, oh man, I notice when I get my workouts in, I'm a better husband. I'm a more active father. I sleep better.
I'm more productive.
Yeah, I get more done at work like that. I'm better to be around. Like
better mood.
Yeah, you start to see that.
You'll never want to stop.
Yeah, and then the motivation changes to work out, and then it's easier to.
And you modify the workouts appropriately.
Yeah,
because you don't overtrain, you don't undertrain because of how it affects everything else.
This is what I mean. I know I share it all the time, so I apologize for the people that are probably tired of hearing this, but it was such an unlock for me. Because I was so guilty of the on and off the wagon all the time, and the permission to go there and just do a couple things, or like, I don't really feel like going, but I need to go there and do this one thing. Right?
Totally.
And just that permission to do that, because I feel better when I do this thing. I know I'm not going to make huge gains doing one set of something or one exercise something. But that permission of doing that was such an unlock for me.
I just want to commend you on your evolution. You walked in, as we're talking about growth and relationship, you walked in today talking about one of the most crazy conspiracy theories I've ever heard.
Yes.
And I just remember,
I thought you were compliment something related to working out.
I remember.
Where's he going with this right now?
This is my favorite part of you.
I remember when Justin and I would bring up things and you would make fun of us and you'd laugh at us and you guys are whatever.
I'm on the team.
Enough of the things that we said
I'm on the team now.
have come true.
I'm on the team.
Where you came in, I want to hear about cheese.
Hey, you know what?
This is crazy, bro.
You know what? Okay, I'll tell you. I was just blew my mind.
By the way, you said it just to do, of course, right away.
Yeah, I know. Justin's like, I know. Actually, I didn't even finish saying it. I said, bro, did you know about cheese? He's like, Pfizer. I'm like, what? I'm like, you haven't brought this up? I'm like, this is crazy.
There's just so much. Like
Pfizer owns 90% of all the cheese here. 90%?
A pharma
I
company.
eat cheese every day.
I know.
And a drug company's making my cheese?
Ask me what brands I use.
Bro.
The non-Pfizer ones.
You specifically go by.
Specifically, like Tillamook's one of them. And I live and die by Tillamook.
Wow.
I mean,
why does a pharma company own 90%
That's
of
a
cheese?
great question.
And so interesting that so many people have intolerances to this. This is so, and then oddly, when you go somewhere where they have strict regulations around that and no pharmaceutical comes in, totally fine. You can go that. Everybody's talked about this.
I know.
Many people that go have.
Bro, I can eat bread and pasta.
They go bread, pasta, cheese when they're in Europe. Totally fine.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that angle.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
But in America, it's a huge problem.
What's that guy's name? Is it Brett Weinstein? Is that his name? Brett? Is it Brett? That one scientist that you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. He went to Europe. He's got terrible gluten intolerance. Terrible.
Yeah.
Where he gets like terrible react, even cross contamination. Him and his wife went over there. He was doing this like videos on his Instagram or whatever, and he was like, "I'm eating bread, I'm eating pasta. I've had no reaction. I'm going to keep like letting you guys know."
I've heard from so many people that have gone to Europe,
dude.
The difference is
what are they doing to our food?
Yeah. I know.
What are they doing to our?
I know.
But why does Pfizer own cheese? That's weird.
Here's what I'm getting. I don't think they own cheese, but they created this product.
It's like a GMO.
It's a rennet is what you usually use to make cheese, and it's their version of it, and it's in 90% of the cheese.
Oh,
yeah. So
which is just as insidious.
Which is weird.
Yeah. So they don't own it because that would probably make everybody be a huge like.
What's rennet? We got to figure this out.
And it's
why does Pfizer?
It's like an enzyme.
But why does Pfizer? So they've genetically.
So they have a lab-made enzyme.
Yes.
Yeah. That is they call it a genetically engineered version of rennet.
Which is not allowed in anywhere in Europe. Cheese.
What's the difference? Look up Pfizer rennet versus regular rennet. Why would you go with the Pfizer one?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what I've decided, by the way, to your point, why he's looking that up about me and the conspiracy. I think now.
Are you gonna go further than we are?
I am.
Uh-oh.
I think to not believe in these things makes you a conspiracy theorist now. That's how far I am.
That's how angry I've been forever.
I'm just like,
you choose not to look at these things. That's how I look at you now. And I'm how naive are you?
So here's the reason. It's cheaper.
Here's the reason they give it to you. Let's hear it.
Vegetarian and consistent alternative to traditional calf rennet.
Vegetarian?
So they say it's molecularly identical to calf rennet, but it's not calf.
Molecularly identical.
Yeah. Molecular.
My ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, I don't know how. I mean, I definitely have razzed you guys for a long time now, but I don't know how you go the last 4 years in someone's shoes like my shoes and not get converted.
Yeah.
There's just
it's hit a full-on tipping point.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, I would have to be in full-on denial to stay on that side.
Listen,
I just have to be like,
people are still
if tomorrow, this is how crazy it's gone. If tomorrow a politician pulls his face off and is a lizard, I would
not be surprised.
Not that I'd be like,
did you guys see? This is also another one crazy that I'm like, how is not everybody talking about this? Because I know 3 million documents were released for the Epstein.
This is all like sub-media. So this is all like the independent circles and like podcasts and YouTube but mainstream media, of course, you're not going to cover it. No.
So what? There is a what do you call that? Not a dossier or where you're where the
subpoena?
Not a subpoena. Where the senates are basically having a it's not a hearing, but it's like a not an interrogation either. The lack of word here. Yeah, like an inquiry. That, for a lack of a better word, we'll use that. But one of the senators is getting ready to like drill like one of the people, and Epstein is like texting her. What to ask? Like they have the timestamps of their phone. Yep. You see her look down,
totally influencing her.
Yes, influencing her on what to like. What?
Yeah.
Like and like nobody like we're like that is happening in our government.
Yeah, yep.
Like because you
these documents are just
there's nobody
FBI,
right on any side of the aisle that doesn't think Epstein is this evil bad person and like the craziest thing we ever see, right? Everyone agrees on that. Like even the non-conspiracy people will at least believe that, right? No, there's nobody that's bought in that he was a good guy or anything, right?
Dude, that's 3.5 million documents just from the FBI. And we're not even talking about the CIA has documents that we're not even going to have access to. And not to mention, you think Epstein was the only Epstein?
No, of course not.
There's multiple Epsteins out there.
And there's so much. So, but that just fascinates me that we have this, within our government, you've got these senators that are having this conversation, this important inquiry, for Doug's lack of a better word. I'm just slipping me what it is. And a person like that even is allowed to be communicating
just
and
is literally so obvious
and is so powerful that a senator is listening and blindly asking the question, not even knowing what they're
just puppet.
So crazy,
like just a puppet.
Yes.
Hey, what's your favorite? Do you guys have a favorite? Because some of the stuff's so dark, I don't even want to talk about it. But I do have some favorites of the emails that are released. You guys want to know what my favorite one was?
Well, I like the Bill Gates one, but yeah.
Okay,
go ahead.
This was Hillary Clinton emailing. This is amazing. Requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah. Okay.
What?
I'm so glad you brought this
up.
What?
Does anybody? Okay, do you guys know what the Nephilim are?
Break that all down, please.
Yeah,
the Nephilim
Watchers,
in the Old
Book
Testament, when Satan, he convinces a third of the angels to revolt. This is the Bible. This is why it's so crazy. He convinces a third of the angels to rebel, and there's a war that happens, and God and his angels kick them out, throw them down to earth. Well, a lot of these angels, right, fallen angels or demons, they fall. That's what it says in the Bible. They find human women attractive, and they sleep with them, because they can make themselves look like humans. And they produce offspring that are called the Nephilim. These are giants. They're literal giants.
Okay.
Who are killers, who eat people, like terrible, and they ruled the world at that time. Part of the reason why there was a flood was because of these Nephilim. And she said, I'd like to find the burial sites of the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, what? Okay, Doug, please look
What?
up Lovelock Cave.
What?
So they found remains in Nevada, Lovelock Cave, of these like over 10-foot skeletons with red hair. And there's a tribes there that have confirmed this and have like literature and everything. Apparently they actually like cornered them into this cave and like set it on fire. And there's like remnants of the soot and everything from the fire. But yeah, I don't know what happened to these skeletons. I think the Smithsonian had taken it and then quickly
Wasn't there like
removed it.
like military reports? I think they were like a special military team, and it might have been in the Middle East where they saw like a giant and they were firing at it and then they killed it, but some of them got.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yeah, there's like some stuff, and then
that was this is all part of like the FOIA stuff. So the Freedom of
and
Information
then Gilgamesh was this giant that was, and the resurrection too. What?
Because I was always like, yeah, the Giants was like a cool like legend kind of lore. I'm like, oh, but I'm starting to see now people are actually have like evidence like that they found like skeletons.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Adam. He's so
good stuff.
he's so
Bro,
deep right now.
It's not even. I'm not even trying to go deep, bro. I tried to stay on the other team for a long time. It's just like that's why I'm like,
There's no turning back.
how do you not question so many things now? This stuff with Epstein now and the ties and these emails, they're so damning.
It's so crazy.
It's not even like.
Did you see Bill Gates' wife interviewed?
Yeah, I saw it.
Because one of the emails says that Bill Gates got an STD, and he was emailing Epstein, to get him antibiotics, and then how can I sneak these into my wife? So because he obviously went home and slept with his wife. And then he's like, it's not a real email. He was emailing himself, and he got divorced. His wife divorced him.
Yeah.
Somebody interviewed him. You could watch the interview.
She divorced and she stepped away from the foundation. She wanted nothing
and
to
she's
do.
basically like,
yeah.
I mean, she didn't say She said it's really
not
hard.
in so
It's
many
really
words,
sad.
but she acknowledged it.
Go watch it.
That's a contributing factor.
It's unbelievably damning. The stuff, the Peter Attia, 1,000 emails. The stuff.
You know what's crazy though? Not that I'm defending the guy because he didn't say anything that was like really crazy, but he's getting destroyed.
Oh yeah.
We have politicians and stuff on there, but some of the emails are so dark. Please don't go look.
Well,
them up. And nothing's happening.
So that's the part that So
They haven't released a lot of politicians' names yet. That's still coming.
Well, some of them, like George Bush Sr. and some of that stuff's out there.
So,
but he died.
And I
So, of
heard
course.
too, like, there's some stuff where disinformation, so there's some stuff in there that are like, Epstein could just be like talking shit and like he's writing it in there, like it's not verified. Yeah. But there's also a lot of factual information in there that they actually went through and found the evidence.
Well, like what Adam said, they were showing the text and it was time stamped, and you can link it up directly to the time, and you can watch the video while the
factual
text are coming
stuff. That's why it's like it's like a whole huge thing you got to kind of filter through. So I'm like, some of it might be like not true, but a lot of it, is really bad.
That's the part I agree. I think that of course, they're gonna also to have that much stuff out. It's going to be very easy to slide in a few intentional misinformation. So then people go
discredits it.
So people go, oh, that was made up and that was fake. Throw that out. Yeah. There'll definitely be some fall people like Peter Attia will be like, oh, we could sacrifice him.
Yeah.
He's some medical influencer.
That's how I feel about that. Yeah, they have.
You know what I'm saying? But there's lambs. So what'll be interesting though is people like him, that it ruins their life if they come forward and sell out more people. Because eventually I would think that would start to happen, right? A couple of people that are like, fuck you. Yeah. You came after just
like
me.
Nicki Minaj?
Well, yeah. She's
going scorched earth, dude.
Who'd have saw that coming?
But she was gangster, you know what I mean? Some people just don't care. Yeah. Which I appreciate.
Yeah, well, I wonder if that's what they're... I was watching...
Aren't they coming after our guy who was in... Forrest Gump, what's his name again?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Oh,
yeah,
Tom
they're
Hanks.
like going after him.
I was watching a recent interview of Andrew Tate, and I thought it was really interesting, something that he was talking about and what he said, because a lot of people are like calling him this sellout, and he's talking about he's obviously defending himself, just like I'm not a sellout, but these people, he's like these internet people. He goes, they've already checked the boxes with me. He goes, the first thing that they do with somebody with as much power and influence as I have, speaking as him, is they will jail me for shit that I didn't do, right? And they can build all that. And they've done that, and I've still beat that and came out. The next step, kill.
Yeah.
He goes, and so I've already pointed you all in the direction. I 100% have said, like, he's like, but I also know that I'm at a place now where they've already tried the first step, which they don't want. Obviously, they don't want to have to go murder me because that draws way more. It makes me a martyr, way more attention. He goes,
they can only do that so many times.
Exactly, and so he's like, so they try to ruin my life like this. And he goes, and they still lost. And he goes, if I keep pushing it, I've already told you. I've already told everybody everything, and like. And so he's like, you could tell he's deathly afraid of
Can I tell you, not that I would ever be a target, but can I tell you one of the number one reasons why I wouldn't buy a fully electric car? Is
that they could shut it off.
They've come out.
Reports of it.
Yeah, CIA people have come out and said, oh,
they backdoored, so they could have access.
We could fully take control of your car and make it crash. Fully. So what an easy way to take someone out. Oh, yeah. You hear what happened?
Now go through.
Andrew take on a car accident.
Dude, now go through and go. So there's this other crazy thing. And I brought this up a while ago about like patents and all that, right? Yeah. And so if you go through, if a machine is over 40% efficient, then it has to be given to the state.
Oh, I don't know that.
It's classified.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
Explain that. I don't understand.
Because it's too efficient.
Too efficient.
Yeah. Oh.
And so then they take that on as like classified, projects that then they end up working on and developing.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
That's so crazy.
That was an act, I forget what the act was, but they put that into Congress.
Listen, here's what you got to do, because we just scared the crap out of everybody.
Just pray. We were dealing with shitty stuff, you guys. Like we could be having such.
No, what you do?
You got to focus on your family.
Okay,
pray.
Great. Okay, I'm so
exercise.
So somebody said that. Somebody said
did we get too dark?
Yeah, we did, bro.
No,
I'm feeling.
I'm just like letting it out.
Hey, but you nailed it. It was so funny you went that way, because I actually heard a really good. I wish I remember who it was. It was a great conversation around this, just how awful, how evil, how dark all this stuff. It's like you control what you clean your own room. Like at this place, like getting
it's
caught,
always been true
to get caught up in everything and let it ruin your day and try and make this build yourself, build your relationship with your family, your neighbor.
Love people.
Don't let it squash your light.
Like and that has so much power in itself, because if everybody just did that would be one of the most influential and powerful.
That would change the world.
Exactly. Yeah. And so
you're hard to manipulate, because here's the game. The game is to manipulate the masses. This is what it shows. This is why they have so many powerful people in these emails, is because these people have influence. And you'll see some of these emails where they talk about how you can manipulate the public. But if you're focused on your faith, your family, your health, what is true and what is right, you're hard to manipulate. You're much harder to manipulate.
Yeah.
But if you're floating around and your faith is based off of media and the world and what the world offers you, and you don't have kids to take care of who take you out of being selfish, because that's what kids are very good at doing, and you're not focused on loving other people, boy, you're like a puppet, man. I could pull you in any direction I want. I could scare you. I can make you want this. I can make you want that.
Do you think more or less people right now are like, I mean, this is my personal journey on it. Is like, I'm so, I'm not on a side. Like, I feel like there's so many people.
I'm on a side, but it ain't.
Well, yeah, that's
a political side.
That's what I mean. That's what, like, I feel like more and more people. I mean, I have a thread with my a couple of my buddies, and this I have multiple threads. I have like my conservative thread and my liberal thread.
Yeah,
I have like friends
same. Totally different groups.
Yeah, and even my buddies that are conservative, which I tend to have more conservative values, is what I would tell somebody. I would not say I'm conservative at all. I say I have conservative values. I'm like, bro, you guys need to get off the team, whatever. It's like,
because that becomes their religion.
Yeah. They're like, oh, I'm so. I'm like, bro,
don't defend any of these.
Do not defend any of these politicians right now. I mean, they're like, and there's no way you're in that club, in my opinion, on either side of the aisle and didn't know about all this bullshit.
You know,
kidding me?
Yeah.
And here's the thing too. This is just human behavior. Power is very alluring. It's very seductive. Power gets you a lot of the things in the world. So if you like money, power will get you money. If you like pleasure, power will get you pleasure. Power will get you food. Power will get you things. Power will get you whatever, attention. So it's very alluring. So it's like, well, who do we trust that's in power? The person who doesn't seek it. the very people who fight and make a career out of trying to gain power, those are the people you don't have.
Yeah.
You're the wrong person.
Yeah.
The person who's not looking for it, who kind of gets put in that position like we need you, which they don't exist.
Well, that's why back to the working,
we don't have any people like that.
You should work instead of looking out towards these people that are put on pedestals, that are the famous online, that are politicians. It's like you should work from the inside out.
Totally.
From your circle, from you, the neighbor that you have a lot of respect with, that you have conversations with, that you see day in and day out with his family, and like you go outward, you don't like reach you from inside out versus this person's so famous or this person's the president or this person. It's like, dude, I don't trust no one like that nowhere, especially with all this stuff coming out. Right
all right, I'm gonna change directions because I had a wonderful moment last night with my 16-year-old daughter.
Oh, right.
So it's, when you have teenage kids, I don't care how cool you think you are or what you do, you're just not cool. You just, no matter what, right? You just aren't. You're always dad, you're always mom, whatever. But last night I had a I'm cool moment. So I come home and we had interviewed Nick Hexum, the lead singer from 311.
Oh yeah.
And my daughter loves she loves music from the 90s. She loves like all kinds of different, she's like really into music. So I come home and I already knew. And I said, hey, do you like 311? She's like, oh yeah, I love them. So we're like playing songs. She's like, oh, that's my favorite song. Oh my God, that one's so, I never heard that one. I'm like, hey, look who I interviewed today. What? You know him? What did he say?
Street cred.
Yeah, dude. So right away I was like, for a second, didn't last very long. But I'm so cool.
I had
That's great.
I had an opposite dad, like that was like a happy dad. I had one of my first like really angry, I guess it was angry, sad, hurt. I felt all at the same time. I found out from Katrina, because he didn't even say anything to me. She came over and told me that some kid like kind of bullied Max yesterday at school. Yeah, he called him a loser. I know. So he called him a loser, and he had a stinky shirt, right? And so he tells Katrina this. Now I know who the kid is, and I know that this happens to be like the troubled kid at school.
Usually
like
it is.
always getting
always.
Yeah. And he told Katrina, Katrina goes, well, how did you feel? He goes, I really, it made me very sad, and I wanted to cry, but I fought back from crying, so I didn't cry, but I felt like I wanted to cry because he made me sad. And hearing her tell me that the story of that, like the dad in you gets enraged. I mean, this is like a little 6-year-old kid. It's like,
you want to go spank him?
I'm gonna put you in a garbage can.
Right, absolutely.
Beat up his dad.
I pulled him in and reminded him. I said, I reminded him what I tell him. I said, you remember what Daddy tells you about those kids, right? And he goes, yeah, but Dad, are you sure? And are you sure his parents don't love him? I said, that's right. I said, son, when kids are like that,
he's gonna tell him.
I want him to. I want him to, and then I want the teachers.
Your mom and dad don't love you.
I said, listen, that's why maybe you should love your son more, and so he's not like that. I said, so bring it on. I hope that he says that.
I've given terrible advice to bullies.
Just throttled.
But is he a little overweight? Yeah, he's kind of okay. Make sure you tell him he's fat.
Yeah.
Does he wear glasses? Yeah. Okay, make sure.
Yeah. No, I want, but I also want him to have compassion about it. I said, listen, don't let it hurt your feelings. I said, because you know what? At home, he's probably really sad. Yeah. He doesn't have as good of a mommy and daddy as you do. There's not a love, and there's not a lot of love in the house. And he's like, are you sure? I see his mom. I said, well, she might be all right, but trust me, if he's like that, he's hurting some. And so I let him. Yeah. So I'm waiting for the time that I said, so this time I drilled it home. Like,
it's hard.
That's what you say to a kid.
It's hard when somebody, a kid hurts your kids, because you know what it feels like as a kid.
Yeah.
That sucks. Yeah. I think all of us went through that at one. Every kid does.
But I really want him to make that connection, because I think if he understands that these bullies and these kids that are like that are hurting inside, and that's what they want. They're hurting. They have pain inside. That's what I told him. They have pain inside because maybe their mommy and daddy fight a lot. Maybe they don't give them a lot of attention. Maybe they don't have a lot of nice things like you do. You get to do a lot of cool things. Your mom and daddy have a lot of love. And when a kid doesn't get that, they tend to act out, and they're mean to other kids. And so when you hear a kid say something like that you know is not true, and he says that to you, I said, don't be sad. In fact, you should feel sorry for him. And you let him know. You just say, man, I'm so sorry. My dad told me that kids that are mean like you probably aren't loved. And so you tell that 6-year-old.
That's horrible. That's horrible. You'll cry right
I know, that's right.
Psychological levels.
And then let your mom and dad come talk to me, and then we'll have a talk. And so, or the teacher for that matter, if she thinks that's inappropriate, I'll definitely defend that. Because you know damn well it's what it is. You know that kid is like fighting for attention because whatever reason. I don't know the mom and dad.
Well, yeah, I mean that whole thing, it's so tough because if your kid's defending himself as well, and I got in that predicament, and I had to face the principal and potential the other parents and whatnot, but especially when it's justified. It's your kid decided to try and strangle my kid with the rope from the tetherball, and he socked him in the stomach and made him cry all the whole rest of the day. Yeah. Sorry, consequences. But again, you don't want to resort to violence, and you're like, I get all this stuff.
I told you guys about that one time. I had a client, this kid that I trained. He was young. I think he was 14, 13. And his mom told me, he gets bullied sometimes, but whatever. Anyway, I built this relationship with this kid, and he tells me this kid follows him home from school and taunts him the whole time and says terrible things to him the whole time. Yeah. And I'm like, I like this kid. He's my client, So inside I'm boiling, and I'm like, well, what does your mom tell you to do? Because I don't want to say anything opposite. My mom says ignore him. My mom says just he's probably hurt and just ignore him. And I'm like, and he's still doing it? He's like, yeah, he's following me. So anyway, I got fed up. I kept hearing this, and I was like, so I told him one day, it's terrible advice. I said, next time he follows you, I said, do you want him to stop? He's like, yeah. I said, turn around. And I told him exactly what I do. I said, punch him straight in the nose. I said, aim for his nose, because then he can't see. He's going to blur it. And I said, and then keep hitting him until someone pulls you off.
You cry.
I was so mad. But listen, I'm not even saying what this kid was saying to him.
Yeah.
This kid was saying terrible and pulling on his backpack. And I've seen this before.
Yeah.
Well, he did it, dude. He hit the kid and he beat him up. And
but never messed with him again.
No, he never messed with him again. And he's like, I'm like, when he came and told me, I'm like, did you get in trouble? He's like, yeah, I got suspended. And in my head, I'm
they
like,
act differently when they know you have claws.
I'm like, did you tell your mom that I told you?
I definitely want him to connect the dots that those kids are hurting inside, and that's the reason why they do it. And I think if I can build his confidence around that, it's not about him, that they're saying these things, it's them. I hope that will be able to squash it. Now, once it gets physical, that's different coaching. You put your hands on my son.
Oh, you got to defend yourself.
That's right. Yeah. You put a hand, my son will be taught. You don't do that. You don't do that. And but if he's got if someone puts a rope around my kid, so you absolutely fucking deck that kid.
Bro. I'm in his corner. I'm like, hey,
good job.
He did that.
Yeah. But I think if he can control his emotions, and when a kid is being mean, especially during these grade levels, when these kids are just mean. They're just mean little kids, and they say mean things. I remember if he lets them know that it's because his parents don't love him, I'm pretty sure that'll handle it. That should handle it probably up to about 6th grade or so. You know what I'm saying? So 6th grade kids start to get a little more physical and stuff like that. Then we can talk. But for right now, he can just remind him that his parents don't love him, and that's why he's like that.
I got to ask you, just change the topic. Yeah. You've been really, I know you're back to working out. You're being consistent. Yeah. Obviously putting on muscle. How you've been consistently taking lots of supplements, but the one I see you routinely taking throughout the day are the essential amino acids.
Yeah.
From Keon.
Did you see I did a post?
No.
Oh yeah, I did a post the other day about. I mean, you know how I am, right? I tease you a lot because you're like, you feel it right away, and I'm always like,
yeah, but you don't take something consistently unless you notice.
Yeah, and I also like to tease out things, and I like to see it. So this is 4 times now where I've built, cut, and I've consistently used those. And so obviously,
what's the difference?
I hang on to muscle way better.
Yeah,
way better. Yeah, it's like and so maybe you're somebody who that's not a big deal to you. Like for me, I've shared before. We were just talking to somebody recently, I think on a live caller or something, that I'm the type of person that as soon as I reduce calories, man, if my protein intake isn't super optimal or high, I like my body, and I have the tracking of this too. This is not me just like, I think I lost muscle. This is me on a DEXA scan. I lose muscle pretty quick, if not being fed. I noticed that I definitely hold on to more of it by taking that. It helps tremendously.
And
for
you're
me.
doing, I see you take what, 5 capsules?
No,
times?
it's 6 to 7.
What, 2-3 times a day?
3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I'll do.
Such a simple, inexpensive supplement that
It is.
that I totally underestimated until we had them on the show, and then I've used them. I know you've used them.
I wonder too, because you have more of a body type like me. I wonder if like certain people will notice a big difference versus other people. Like I know the studies were, I know he blew all our minds like that, but I wonder because there has to be this like individual variance of why.
I think so, but I mean, losing muscle in a calorie deficit is the norm. It's just hard.
Yeah.
The difference is honestly like this, guys. Like either you lose a lot of muscle or you lose a little bit of muscle. It's typically what it looks like.
Yeah.
Not losing any muscle in a deficit is like wow. And the essential amino acids make that difference.
Well, that my last. So I can't. I DEXA scan again. This coming up Monday, which I think this is about when this podcast. So I'll have been getting it done. The last one I did a bunch 2 years ago when I was doing that transformation thing, and that was the first time it kind of blew my mind because again I've been in cuts, I've done all this stuff so many times, I've tracked with all the data and everything like that, and it's pretty normal. I go in a cut and I'm gonna lose some lean body mass, but I actually I gained, like I held on and gained.
Wow.
So I literally went down. I think I'll look back at the exact numbers. I was looking back on them just the other day just to kind of check to see what it was. But I want to say I went down like 3 or 4% body fat and actually gained lean body mass. And I was like in a calorie deficit. So to be in a calorie deficit most of the time and to see that was like, whoa, like, so I'm totally sold on it. I can, again, I've been doing this for long enough to feel and see a difference in my body. And yeah, ever since, Angelo came on and kind of dispelled a lot of things that I thought to be true around EAAs. And so since you brought them up though, I do want to ask you, because I don't recall in a calorie, so put me in a calorie surplus, put me in calorie deficit. Is it more beneficial for me to go in between meals or to protein spike a meal already?
Probably in between.
Okay.
Probably in between.
Now, is that different based off the cut and on the bowl? So no matter what.
It's probably better to be in between.
Okay.
But the data will show it probably doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
But
So
if I had to pick one, it'd be in between.
So what I've done is I've done in between, unless it's like a low protein.
Then you
thing.
throw out the meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
So that's kind of
so the way I used to use essential amino acids back in the day was I would give to my vegan clients. That had a huge impact.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge. And I would have them take 5 capsules. And back then we didn't work with Keon, so it'd be whatever. Now we have a good brand, but back then I'd take 5 capsules with your meal, because vegan sources of protein, especially whole food, aren't that great.
And I wonder if that's part of why I see such huge benefits from it is because and anyone who's been listening for long enough, I've always talked about how hard it is for me to hit 220 grams of protein all the time. Like it's hard to do that. It's hard for me to consistently always do that. Even when I'm prepping like I am right now, when I go back and I check, I'm like, damn, still I'm only at 180. And so it's like, I think that fills those gaps.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what I'm noticing more than anything else is just
and
that.
that's the majority of people.
I think so too. Yeah. That's why I'm so sold on it. And I think it's so valuable is because I think a lot of people underestimate how inconsistent they are with hitting optimal protein numbers. And so supplementing with something like that while doing that, super beneficial.
Totally. All right, I got an uplifting, crazy story for you guys. Did you guys hear about the 13-year-old boy that saved his family from drowning?
No.
Crazy story. So the family was out kayaking and paddleboarding, and they got swept out almost 3 miles out to sea. So it's a mom, and I think it's her. Let me see. Let's see. It's a mom and her 8-year-old and a 12-year-old boy, the 13-year-old boy, and an 8-year-old sister. So she got 3 kids out there with the mom. They get swept out. So it must have been a current or something. And they're like screwed. The mom makes the decision because she's like, I don't know what to do here. So she tells her oldest kid, the 13-year-old, and she goes, you got to try swimming out to shore and see if you can get us help. Now, I can't even imagine doing that as a parent. You got to send your kids out. And she can't leave the little ones.
Yeah.
So she sends this 13-year-old boy out there. So he decides he's going to do it. And so this is what he said. He had to swim for 4 hours in the ocean. Wow. Okay. The whole time he's praying and he said, God, if you help me, I will get baptized. and he's talking to God. And this is what he says. He goes, I don't think, this is the boy. There's an interview. You can watch the interview. He said, I don't think it was me swimming. It was God the whole time. I kept on praying, kept on praying. I said to God, I'll get baptized. The waves were massive. I had no life jacket on. I just kept thinking, keep swimming, keep swimming. And he kept praying. He made it to the beach, got to the shore, ran a mile to find help, and ended up getting help. The family, by the time that they got in the helicopter and they find the family, they were 9 miles out to ocean, and they saved the whole family.
Wow. Whoa.
That's incredible.
What our coast or East Coast?
This is Australia.
Australia.
And the mom, she said one of the hardest decisions I ever had to make was to say to Austin, that's the boy, try to get to shore and get some help. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
4 hours in the ocean.
Oh, imagine her too. After you send your kid,
You're like,
and it's like
we're all dead.
3 hours have gone by, and you're
4 hours.
floating out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
But the interview was crazy. You hear this kid, and he's like, I was praying, and God, he's like, it wasn't me swimming. It's like, what a wonderful, miraculous.
is this
story.
recent, or is this one of those times?
Just happened.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like when you're like,
yeah,
oh,
it's making
10 years ago.
1987.
way to the Facebook feed.
It's been going by, so he tells the story.
That happens
It's like,
sometimes.
what is this? 97? You just
Still a cool story.
It's
great to bring it up.
But it's even more cool.
Hey,
it just
speaking of
happened.
kids, I'll talk about my daughter again. Yesterday, this happens often, right? So I got my niece living with us. So I got 2 teenage girls, and they love to tease me, and I love it because it's just endearing. I know that that's how they show their love, and so they'll tease me and joke with me. And of course, my birthday is today, and so they're calling me Boomer and Unk and all these names you call an old guy.
Yeah.
And then they're both like,
Classics.
they're both trying to mess with me, right? So like throwing punches, or they're trying to wrestle with me.
Yeah.
And you're old and this and that. And so I'm like telling them, like, listen. And so I had to pause for a second because we're laughing. I said, listen. I said, I get the feeling that you both think that you could take a guy out. And they're like, of course we could. Both of us together. I said, you can't. I said, listen to me right now. No. You can't.
In fact, go get your mother too.
I said, listen. I said, you
Get
can't.
all 3 of you.
I said, if I grab you with one hand, you'll be on the floor. No, you can't. So they both start squaring up, and they're trying to get with me or whatever. So I just grabbed my daughter, put her on the floor with one hand, and she's screaming, help! How dare you attack me?
Here's a little life lesson.
Yeah, please let go. Then I let go. Then they get up and come after me again. It was the funniest dude. It was so funny. And I'll tease them about it. Like, you'll never beat me, you know? Oh, I love it. Such a good time last night at my house. Just cracking up.
So good.
Yeah, anyway. Hey, I was going to ask you, Adam, again, I want to go back to you. You had one of our last episodes. You were talking about how you were holding water because you ate all this food.
From my ice cream.
Yeah, we were talking about like the pump and all that stuff.
And then my burritos.
You had. I have not tried the butcher box chorizo that you're talking about.
So fire.
Yeah,
So is
didn't
it?
know they had that.
You have to cook it. Is it pre-made?
It comes in just like a hamburger. You know the way their hamburger comes. But it's chorizo, and it is.
Is it good?
It's so good, and it's okay. So chorizo will sometimes upset my stomach.
Yeah.
It's like greasy. It is not greasy,
And it's got to be
it
made.
gives me,
Do they
like,
still pick in the
heartburn like
heritage
crazy.
pork?
yes, you
Unfortunately,
guys
I love
have.
it,
That's
but-
why you guys have to try it. It's not like it's not.
I wonder
like,
if it's different. Yeah, it'd be
Oh,
great.
100%. It's the heritage pork.
Yeah.
It's derived from the
All
heritage.
their pork tastes amazing.
Yes. And if that's what made me do it, because I'm like, you know what? We rave all the time about their heritage pork and their baby back ribs. Like Katrina's like, I'm going to try their chorizo. Oh, made that with some egg and a little bit of potato in a burrito in burritos. That's been my breakfast. I had it again today. I've had it every day
Delicious.
had it every day this week.
I haven't
Awesome.
seen it on their site.
So good.
Is it an add-on? It's got to be an add-on. So you just do an add-on to your box.
That's a wife question.
Did you find it, Doug?
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, find it. I want to see how much what it is and if it's an add because they have
I'm so
add-ons.
curious because every time I eat chorizo, I love the taste
You
of it.
have
I
to.
get like immediate like fire.
It
heartburn.
tastes so different. It doesn't taste like that. It's like it's I mean, you could tell it's like not greasy at all. We even took it. We took it. Even the little bit of greasy. She poured it out. And then,
Well, you do that anyway.
yeah, right. And then we made the burritos out of it. And it's like not greasy. at
Side
all.
note, I heard this new term, and Courtney was I don't know. She's like obsessed about like growing her own food and like stuff for like spices and like having all this stuff in the house. So you guys have had her like sourdough bread.
So
and all
good.
this.
So
it's
good.
like she's really into just like making everything from scratch. And so apparently there's this term. It's called like the ingredient household. And so the philosophy is really like you have the whole house is like stocked with all these ingredients and everything to make, like even the kids will go like, and they do this a lot. They'll go, make their own cookies or they'll make their own brownies.
So you have all the basic ingredients.
All the basic ingredients to do everything. We don't have anything prepackaged or anything like ready, like accessible. They have to go in and we've been, experimenting with the boys with this for like the last couple of years.
What a great point, Justin. We have lost the art of cooking together because everything's so convenient. And I get it. It takes time. One of the best ways to bond with your spouse or your kids is to like make things.
Yeah.
It gives you automatic time. Sometimes you're thinking, what do I do with my kids? I got to think, cook something together.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. What is that, Doug? Is that showing?
Is this the one, Adam?
Chorizo ground pork sausage right there, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
What's it called? Is it an add-on? How much is it?
It is an add-on. It's $10 right now. $10.20.
Oh, that's nothing.
2 pounds.
No, that's great.
You guys have to. I'm serious.
It's on.
Yeah.
Hey,
I definitely want to try
I got to
it.
tell you guys, by the way, because I just turned. I'm on the wrong side of 40 now, so I'm getting closer to that other decade.
Now we say you're almost 50.
Dude, getting there, bro. We had at least a few years, but still. But anyways, my friends were like, "Hey, what kind of gifts can we get you? For your birthday?" Which I don't want gifts. So I gave them a bunch of So here's the list of things that I told them. So you guys,
Rolex watch.
If you're an old guy, you understand. Okay. So number one,
New Balance shoes.
I said New Balance shoes, but Velcro.
Of course.
You gotta have Velcro shoes. By the way, my dad, he always buys shoes without laces, and I used to make fun of him. I get it now.
Barbecue spatula.
No, I said ibuprofen because sometimes I sleep wrong, get injured. For some reason. Hair clippers for my ears. That's always that's a new one.
Those.
A sign that says "Get off my lawn." That's the other one.
Slow down.
A cassette mixtape and a pencil. If you're from our generation, you understand the association. You know why there's a pencil with a cassette tape. I said a Blockbuster T-shirt.
Kind rewind.
Another one I said a cereal box with Bruce Jenner on the cover.
The
Remember that
original.
guy? You guys remember that guy?
The original.
The other one was Tiger Balm mentholated cream for my joints. And then finally I said a jug of water from the garden hose because that's the best water. That was the best water that we drank back then.
That actually would be like a really cool birthday to actually
like a box
to
with
get
all-
all that stuff would
I
be
bet
really
you
funny.
I bet you,
You
the
forgot Tums in there. Yeah.
Hey, I bet
That's you right there,
Doug,
right?
look up on eBay a Wheaties box with Bruce Jenner.
I've
I
seen
bet
it.
you it's worth a ton of money.
Oh, you think so?
I bet you it's worth a ton.
Did you see my post I did
Yeah,
about Doug?
No.
I bet.
Oh, so Doug's big silver guy, right?
Yeah.
So I did you see what I did?
No.
So behind me, right? Wimby last year, right? When Doug's talking about buying silver, I bought the Wimby silver panini, okay, which is a rookie card of his, and I got it at $700. It's selling right now for $1,500.
Wow. Doubled your money.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Had you actually bought real silver, you might have been even up more.
No, I did the math actually. That's why I did it first. It was 51% was silver. I was up about 57%. So that was the point
Oh,
of
look
it.
at that.
Was I was looking up silver and how
at
much
that.
silver had gone up in the last year, and I was like, oh wow, it looks like my silver panini went up a little bit more than silver did.
Did you find the Wheaties box?
I did. There's a bunch of them on sale.
How much?
Well, they vary. One is $94. There's one that's been dropped to $345. Some of them
Are they
empty.
not open too?
Yeah, some of them are not even opened.
Wow.
So
Wow. That's a famous box.
Eat it.
Yeah.
You guys know the picture, right? Where he's kind of running.
of course. Yeah.
Look at that, dude. You know what's weird?
That's so cool.
Have you guys ever noticed this? I'm sure you have. You notice all the men when they date a Kardashian, like these all turn out kind of something happens to all of them, bro.
They get MK Ultra.
Something happens to almost every single guy that ends up marrying one of those chicks.
You know, I do like that you brought this up though, and I don't know what I'm talking about is like the collectibles are like interesting to watch right now with our dollar being destroyed. Like a lot of collectible stuff is like way up. It got me
You
back.
start buying things with baseball cards.
Bro, you should
Stamps.
you should see. I have a bunch of.
They'll be our new currency.
My buddies that I told you I tease that are like that actually watch other grown men open cards. I will never reach.
Boy, that gets him no sex.
But what I will tell you is that the excitement of opening cards, because it's like gambling, because there's collectible cards in there that are worth the kind of money that I just shared with you. That's a card from just last year is already valued that high. That part I get into. So we were all supposed to get together this weekend, and so I have like all these boxes of cards that I'm like, I bought like in the Christmas time that I'm waiting to like open up and stuff. And I haven't done that since I was like a kid, dude. So I'm all excited right now.
You're going to open in front of them?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to open it. We're going to do, they'll get to open it up together. There's a way to do it and everything. Like the last time we were all together, and this is me hanging out. These are like my childhood
Their
friends.
wives must think this is the worst thing ever.
Totally. Yeah. No, they do not get any. They
Like, you want to get your wife like the Sahara Desert. Just tell her you watch other men open baseball cards.
No, it is
the
like,
equivalent would be what was it called? The pony prancer, like
Oh, God.
like or stuffed animals.
Oh, hobby horses.
Yeah, hobby horses or having a bunch of stuffed animals.
you're a
That's
guy with stuffed
for
animals,
guys, that's like
You're a serial killer.
I was with Jay last weekend and we were talking because we're all friends and we're all in a group thread together. So that, and I'm like, I was teasing the other buddy about that. I was like, dude, he's a grown ass man and he watches other men open baseball cards. I'm like, that's just, I get the excitement around the baseball cards and it's collectible. So I'm not crapping on that. Like I just explained an example of like, it's their assets, right? You get the right ones and they're cool, right? So I get that. But to watch other men open the cards is a little bit too much for me. And we were all together over the Christmas holiday break. And for Christmas, my there's like another mother of mine. So my best friend's mom, she had bought all her two boys and then her husband, who's now into the opening the cards of them. And we had boxes of them, and after Christmas, we're all opening them up. And my buddy and his brother are so into it. Like, there's a way to open it, and you slide it up one at a time to build up the suspense.
Oh,
and so to watch them get mad at their dad, the way he's opening the cards and the way what are you doing? You're going too fast. You're ruining it.
you gotta do it seductively.
Yes.
Striptease.
It's exactly right. There's like this. I'll have to show you guys. I got video of like it happening and going down, and I'm like inside. I'm
Top 10 things that make that just turn off your wife.
Yes,
Come on, bro.
I don't think that turns any wife on.
No.
Well, you don't need to. I'd be into Garbage Pail Kids if we could just like bring those back.
Those
as
were
trading
great,
cards.
dude.
Those were sick.
Those were great. But I ain't watching somebody open a box of them.
No.
That's it's like the video game thing for me. Like I get the video game thing, but to watch other people play the video game thing, I just don't. I can't get behind that.
That was always annoying because you'd have to wait forever for that older brother, and like, yeah, cool, you're good at it, but I want to turn.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and that became its own economy.
Yeah.
It's, like,
It's
what?
huge. You know how it's huge that people watch for hours. Other grown adults play video games and open
Yeah,
cards.
was it T-Pain who makes like so much money? He doesn't even tour because
he makes more money people watching him play video games than
Twitch.
rapping. That's what he's known for. It's so wild.
You know what you got to do if this is you and you're a man? This is what you do.
Yeah, well, there's definitely people listening that do this.
That's fine. I'm going to give you some advice.
Okay.
This is what you do. Have kids. Wait till your kid gets older, and if they get into it, now you can do it.
Yeah.
Now you got a reason to go have fun with toys. Is because your kids are into it. But if you're doing it on your own, go make some. I don't know. Go do something else, dude. Go work out. I don't know.
bigger toys.
Yeah. Seed is the world's best probiotic. Look, probiotics have been shown in studies to have some pretty profound effects on you. So it definitely helps your digestion. We all know that. Helps with your skin. There are many studies now that show that probiotic supplementation helps with cognitive function, reduces anxiety, depression. Here's some new stuff. New data is coming out showing it helps with fat loss and muscle gain. I'm not making this up. Your microbiome helps you digest food. It affects your metabolism, creates neurotransmitters. It's a community in your body that helps assist your body, or it could go against you. One of the best things you could do is supplement with good probiotics. And like I said earlier, Seed is the world's best. Head over to seed.com/mindpump. Use the code 20mindpump, get 20% off. This segment of the podcast is brought to you by Mind Pump Fitness Coaching. This is the #1 course that teaches trainers and coaches how to build sustainable 6-figure plus businesses and careers in fitness. Look, it's roundtable based, so you can hear Adam, Justin, and myself teaching you how to build a better business, get more leads, close more deals, close bigger deals, and be more effective trainers. By the way, our course is nationally recognized. In fact, it gives you 1.9 CEUs with or for your NASM certification. Find out more at mindpumpfitnesscoaching.com.
Our first caller is Nicole from California.
Hi, Nicole.
How you doing, Nicole?
Hi, guys.
happening?
How are you?
Good. How you
Good.
doing?
How can we help you? I recognize
Good.
you. Have we seen you
Yeah.
at our events before?
Yeah, I've been on your calls before, live calls, and I also met you in Las Vegas.
Oh,
and I've come to the studio in person, so I feel like the luckiest person.
Yeah, good to see you again.
All right.
How can we help you?
Thanks for taking my call. So I wanted to preface my email that I wrote in with a couple of points. I just want to let guys know that I'm really proud of where I am right now. After listening to you guys for 3.5 years and running MAPS programs for 3 years now, I am physically a lot stronger and mentally a lot stronger. So I just feel like I'm in a pretty good place, but I do have a hurdle that's come up over and over again over the last few years. So this is what my email comes in.
Okay.
All right.
So I have a nutrition issue and question. I recently got an email from Mind Pump saying that you have a nutrition plan call option. And I wanted to know if this would be a good fit for me. The nutrition part is my main hurdle, as I mentioned before. I have had a history of restricting heavily, and whenever I cut, it messes with me mentally. I've been doing your MAPS programs for a little over 3 years, and I'm super consistent. I love lifting. I have no problem with that at all. I've gotten a lot stronger in the last 3 years, and I think I look buff when I flex. So there's a little layer of fat over it all, and it really hasn't messed with me too much in the last year or so. I did bulk up a couple of times in the last 3 years, but I also bulked up in weight, like 10 to 12 pounds, and I had started at a heavier body weight than I was used to. So my original goal was to lose body fat, and now I feel like I'm ready to cut. But every time I do it, I come up with this issue. I recently did 3 in-body scans at my naturopath in the last 6 months, and I went up from like 26.8% body fat to 29% body fat, which was my last one in December. And it also says that my muscle mass is in the high section at like 61 pounds of skeletal muscle mass. So she said, that's great. And I'm really proud of that. So when I do try to cut, it's short-lived and I revert back to maintenance because it's less stressful mentally. I'm not feeling like physically restricted. I don't really get like hunger or anything like that. It's just it's all in my mind. So my goal is to lose 10 pounds of body fat and get in a healthier body fat range, like around 24-25% body fat is my goal, mainly for health. I've kind of come to like a more comfortable feeling in my bigger body, really mentally. I'm just a little bit more concerned health-wise. So I'm currently like 153 pounds, and I have a really hard time with weighing and tracking my food. And I have hired online coaches before, including Mind Pump online coach. And it's just not something I'm willing to do with tracking. So I know I eat currently around like 2,000 to 2,200 calories at a maintenance, and I'm really great at hitting my protein. I usually eat well over 140 grams of protein a day. And I do tend to eat a little lower carbohydrate, like around 100, 120 is like my max. And I would say I typically hit lower than 100. And my fat intake is usually kind of high, like 85 grams. In the past, I did the bulk and I gained the strength, but the fat along with it. And I did bulk up to like 2,600 calories. And I didn't feel like I got huge strength gains from that. I kind of just felt like it was a lot of forcing me to eat, and probably had something to do with some of the body fat I gained. And I want to know if I was a good candidate to just have somebody go over like what I eat, maybe just in photos, and see if they can just give me like a really simple, doable plan that I can stick to. Let's see if I have anything else. And then that's it. I just had some of my strength gains written down in the last year. I tracked from December of 2025 to 2024, and I think I did really well at not bulking during that time.
You're doing a good job.
You are.
Thanks.
Really, really good job. And just so you know, that there is no health benefit. If you're fit and healthy and you're strong, especially if you're strong, you're not really going to get a health benefit going from 28, 29 to 25 or 24. So there's no worry about being at the body fat percentage you're at.
Especially with the muscle you have.
Yeah. In fact, some data suggests it might even be healthier for some women to be in the high 20s, especially as you get older, but you're far from that. But anyway, my point is, if it's for health, there's no reason. Now, if you want it to change aesthetics.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. And so if that's part of it, then we can definitely tackle it. So the question is, and I get it. I get tracking issue, and a lot of people don't like it. And so here's the thing. Part of it comes from, for some people, that they don't like to be told what to do. And so once they feel controlled, and I see you smiling there, so I'm assuming you have that personality. When if you're told to do something, that your instinct may be to go and do the opposite or not
Right.
do it, or you feel controlled. Okay.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. So that's kind of a big issue. And that's a bigger issue. It doesn't just relate to food. It tends to bleed out into the rest of our lives. Nonetheless, there are ways to coach without tracking.
Okay.
So there are ways to coach someone to get leaner without tracking. And I would assume someone like you, Nicole, that you generally eat the same kind of foods most days. I don't think your
Yes.
diet radically changes. Okay.
Nope.
So if I were coaching you, or if I were having one of our coaches work with you, then they would work with you based off of that and not necessarily tracking.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like change a couple things here, take a couple ounces of whatever here out, and then and work from there.
Okay.
And then on your side, because I've worked with a lot of people like you, and the challenge can be letting me coach you. And so as a coach, I have to work with you. I'm just going to let you in on how coaches work, okay? I would work with you, and a lot of it would be me helping you feel like it's your idea. Because if I tell you to do something, then I know you're going to want to rebel. And by the way, I have that same personality.
Okay.
So a good coach is going to really work with you and help you figure it out. But on your end, Nicole, you have to submit and just say, I'll just do it. And not feel controlled, but rather, this is what I want.
Okay.
Now, the question is, can you get down to 24? Yeah, you totally could. You've got good muscle, strength. You're consistent. You look healthy. Going down to 24, 25% wouldn't be a problem.
You'd be a good candidate for our concierge program, where you just
What's
check
that?
you just check in with a coach once a month. And so they basically do the nutrition plan with you, set it all up, since you've got as much experience as you have already. And then
Yeah.
they just check in with you on a monthly basis and make tweaks based off of the feedback and what you're giving them. And so I think that would be great. Give me an idea where you're at activity-wise. Do you have any idea how many steps you take a day or anything like that?
Yeah, I take like 13,000 steps a day.
Oh, you're pretty active.
I do a 3-day-a-week, 1-hour program from MAPS. I just finished MAPS 40 Plus, and I just started Muscle Mommy yesterday again I've done it like 4 times at least.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing the 1 day of the sprinting from MAPS 40 Plus on my Tuesday. So I work out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then on Tuesday, I just do like a 15-20 minute sprinting on a cycle, like a bike.
Okay. Yeah, you're pretty active. That's a lot of steps. So typically
Yeah.
were you doing that when you reverse dieted too?
The steps, yeah.
Okay.
I've been consistent with that for years, like a decade. I have a dog and I walk her every day.
Okay, so it's kind of like where you stay. How hard is it to increase from there?
It'd be hard.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
So the reason why I asked that is because another way to help without tracking macros is like what I would do with someone like you is we would do like a reverse diet first, which means since you're already at high steps, I'd actually take back on steps, which would already start to cause a reverse diet because you're moving less.
Okay.
And do a bulk with a smaller amount of calories, less activity. And then when we decide to cut, I increase your activity while cutting a few things out, changing a few things in the diet. Like what you would tell me what you ate for the day, and I'd be like, oh, cool. Instead of having 6 ounces there, I just want you to have 5 ounces there. And instead of having a full cup of that, I just want you to have a half a cup of that. And I could take away a few hundred calories and I could get you to move 2,000 more steps. But if you're already at peak amount of activity, I don't have a lot of room to play with. By the way, this is exactly what I'm doing with Corinne right now. Is like I've told her like, hey, no going out of your way to get steps. We're in the reverse diet phase right now. So stop with the walking like crazy. I need to be able to use that as a tool to go into our cut. And right now it's just about bulking, getting stronger, and adding calories. And then one of the first things that I will do is I will modify a little bit of the food and I'll say, okay, now I want you to get 2,000 more steps a day. But if you're already at peak steps and you stay at peak steps all the time, that's a lever that we can't pull right now. And so it would be another strategy if you don't like tracking. That's a great strategy to pull that lever, but then I got to get you to pull back right now while we reverse diet and build muscle and then go the other direction.
Yeah, I don't see me pulling back on my steps just because like that's my daily. That's just how active I am, and I don't want to give up I just like a 2-mile walk I do with my dog every day outside in the sunshine. So
yeah, I wouldn't change that. It would be anything you get on any sort of cardio equipment.
I don't do it except for Tuesday. I do, like I said, a 15-minute. It's that sprinting of 15 seconds and then a minute of rest, and I do that.
It's not much.
Is that too much?
No, it's not much.
No, it's not.
Here's the other thing too you want to consider. Okay, is you want to look at how much of an improvement in life quality is a 3 or 4% loss in body fat, and then compare that to the changes that you would make, and is it worth it? Now, here's the thing with body fat percentage, Nicole.
Yeah.
People store body fat in ways where someone can be at 28% and look great, and other women will store it differently at 28% and have to get much leaner. If you store around a lot on your midsection, then I don't think so. Yeah. So
I'm all booty.
Yeah. So you probably store it in a very healthy way.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So, okay, if you drop 4% body fat, which you could go after and try, is that going to give you is it going to be worth, is the juice worth the squeeze?
Well, especially if it makes you do things like I was already starting to mention, like it starts to make you manipulate your steps, and now you have to kind of track.
You know where you would
just to get 4%.
You know where you would benefit from coaching more than the diet. Maybe small tweaks in the diet, but probably individualization of your program design. At your level, your consistency. If you were my client and I'm talking to you and I'm hearing all this stuff, I might make a couple little suggestions with diet. But then I'm going to look at your workout and I'm going to individualize it. So you're following our general programming, which is good, but nothing beats individualization. So I'm going to look at it and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to change this, change that. And then that would leverage your metabolism in a positive way, cause the body shape changes that you're probably looking for.
That'd be cool.
It would be more of a programming thing. There definitely would be some diet suggestions, but it wouldn't be hardcore diet.
This is why I think she's so perfect for the concierge, because you would just be those tweaks when we meet once a month. It's just like, hey, this is what we're going to be doing.
I'm following Muscle Mommy. Here's what my weight, these are the weights I'm using. Here's whatever. Then they would make individualization to your programming.
Okay, that sounds pretty great. I didn't know that was an option, even though I listen to you guys every podcast you put out. I guess I missed that one.
Well, no, we don't really we don't push and promote it. It's just something that we offer to our clients as an option. Typically, clients will go through like a program, get to their goal, and then it's one of our ways to kind of just maintain a client that now has all the tools. Like obviously you've been listening, you've been going through this. Sounds like you have a lot of those tools, and so you would be somebody who I could send right to that direction.
That sounds great. As far as like my personality and matching me up with someone, I've just realized like I'm really blunt. I like full blown honesty, and sometimes I need to be kind of like pushed around. So like if someone's really like more of a meek personality, it doesn't really work out with me. It's just
Yep.
So if you got someone in mind, that would be great.
We'll take care of that for you. We'll take care of that for you, Nicole.
We have people for you.
Yeah. Now that we know who's sending over, we'll take care of who you get with. Don't worry.
We'll put it in the notes.
All right. That sounds great. Yeah. Well, thank you guys for all your time. I really appreciate you. You guys crack me up every time I listen to you, and I'm really, really proud of how strong I've gotten, even though it's not like the numbers some of your live callers put out. It's
You're
pretty
doing
amazing.
Awesome. You're doing awesome, Nicole.
You're doing really good.
Yeah. Yes. Keep it up.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, I gotta say this too, because we get hung up on body fat percentage. Body fat distribution makes a big difference. Like huge difference. Like,
well,
especially for women, because men generally store body fat the same, although you could have a weird distribution. Like a dude could store it in his hips, but for the most part, it's on our belly. Women, if they store it hourglass style and there's muscle underneath, 28%, 29% looks amazing in many women. So sometimes we get hung up. Well, I should probably be down here. And then for health purposes, if you're fit, there's no difference.
No.
It's not gonna make a difference.
Especially with good muscle and stuff. She reminds me of one of my last clients that I had. In fact, I still was in contact and helping her for a long time, even while we were doing this podcast. And she's always asking for the next percentage, and I was constantly reminding her, I said, you look great. You're in great shape. And it's like, you want this next 4%, but what you have to sacrifice to get that
Not
next
worth
4%
it.
is not only will you not be any healthier, arguably you'd be less healthy to get to that next 4% that you're talking about, but then you're gonna have to you're not gonna be able to enjoy that. You love to go out with the girls every once in a while and have a glass of wine. You love to do these things those are great, healthy, balanced parts of your life that you have found a way to keep yourself in a healthy place, strong and fit. And to ask for that, there's the sacrifice that, and it's just and I can hear that in her voice. Like,
Totally.
I don't want to do that. I don't want. It's like, well, then just okay. Then you're doing
there's
great.
This belief that if you look shredded, you'll have your life is dramatically better. It's not true. No, it doesn't change that much. To go from unhealthy to healthy, big difference.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad she was interested in kind of changing up her training, because like a lot of times just focusing on that is going to take you so much further.
Totally.
You get what you want, and then too, you got all these new abilities you didn't have before.
That's what I would have done with her. If she was my client, just from talking with her, I'd be like, I'm going to work on programming with you.
Yeah,
that's what we're going to
have fun with it.
That's it.
Our next caller is Alex from Massachusetts.
Hi, Alex.
What's happening,
Alex?
Hey there. So nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, how can we help you?
So I am in my second postpartum. I had 2 babies kind of back to back. They're 6.5 months apart. Prior to having kids, I focused on my fitness for like 2 hours a day. Loved running, did 5 half marathons in a year. And, I've kept my nutrition pretty consistent while having my kids, but I just haven't, focused on fitness. So I'm kind of coming out of that fog of my postpartum, really looking to get back into fitness again. Just wanted your take on, what should I change and how do I really start this process?
Thanks for calling in, Alex.
When you were running, were you also strength training or just running?
So I was doing both. I definitely did more running than strength training. I just really fell in love with it. It was kind of therapeutic for me. So majority of the time I definitely was running with probably like short, 20-minute strength training every now and again.
Well, I'm really glad you called in. So there's a couple things. You did the majority of the work is before you get pregnant, which you did. You were fit, you were exercising. That makes the biggest impact. Here's the other thing, Alex, that you're not describing here to people who don't understand. It's a lot on your body to have one baby. It's a lot to have 2 babies within a year of each other.
Yep.
It's a radical change on the body, and a woman's body doesn't fully recover for probably 2 years. And so you were 6 months later, boom, pregnant again. Okay?
Right.
So I can tell you this, you're going to do fine unless you push it, unless you're not patient. You got to do less than you think.
Okay.
And assume your body's not the same for probably 2 years after your last child.
Yep. Okay. I'm about a year. So she's about a year and a half. I have 2 kids. I have a son who's 3 and my daughter who's a year and a half. So
okay. You're getting there. Yeah. You're close.
Yeah.
So
I feel that fog kind of lifting, right? Like it's, my independence is coming back a little bit. I'm feeling like I'm ready to go. I want to get that endurance back. But obviously my nervous system takes a lot of shots during the day. So just trying to be realistic about really what can I accomplish.
Are you open to flipping the focus at this point in your life right now on more of the strength training and less of the running where you're currently at? And we can always pick more of the running up later on.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I definitely have muscle that I have to rebuild. And I know obviously strength training would help me get there probably faster than just running and, being able to focus on different areas of my body. Cause I'm sure if you guys have, your young kids, you're using a lot of muscle to take care of them. So I'd love to kind of rebuild that. So for sure.
It's also, so that's all true. And then also it's the amount of time it takes to run long distance versus how little strength training you need to do to build your body and strength back. We could literally spend 15 minutes a day doing 1 or 2 exercises for your body that is going to do wonders for getting you back to feeling like your normal self, where the running for half hours to hours at a time is a lot of time, and that's a lot for very little return in your pursuit.
Listen, I hate running postpartum. It's the worst because it's high impact. Your pelvic floor muscles need to get strengthened. The recruitment patterns need to come back. You need to strengthen your body.
Activities, everything.
Yeah, you do that impact and you're going to find issues with your pelvic floor, either through injury or other things that happen when you bounce up and down after having a baby. And you'll, and so I never liked running postpartum until we did a nice bout of correctional exercise. And so we have a program that's perfect. It's called MAPS Starter. I'm going to send that to you. Don't worry, I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
And it's going to feel basic. It's going to feel easy. That's the point. I want you to focus on bracing your core. I want you to focus on connecting to your pelvic floor while you're doing these exercises, like you're doing kind of a Kegel while you're doing your movements to strengthen the muscles that have changed in terms of their recruitment patterns. And a MAP starter is a good 3 months.
Nice.
So do that whole program for 3 months. After MAP starter, you're going to do MAPS 15.
Okay.
MAPS 15 is another 3 months. After that, if you feel good, then you can move to something like MAPS anabolic.
Awesome.
Okay. Now, the entire time, your body's going to change. So I don't want you to think like, oh, I'm doing this basic thing, nothing. You're going to see your body change. Fight the urge to do more than the program because you're going to start to feel good, which is a good sign. And then you're going to be like, I want to do more.
This is a lot of the opposite of your natural tendency, especially being a runner, going into this, really slowing down and like using tempo as your friend here for like really slow reps and like focusing on that tension control and connection. And so if you can do these reps super slow pace with that, that's going to move you so much further towards now feeling like yourself again and able-bodied again.
I'm a big fan of pushing the stroller and going for a walk, just no running.
That's it.
That's what you do for more activity. If you got you know the ability to take the kids out, go for a nice walk, do stuff like that. But stick to the strength training protocol. And if you are somebody who does have good discipline and you pride yourself on that, similar to my wife. What I had to keep telling her through MAP Starter is this is perfect. This is enough. You don't need more. Just keep trust me. I know what I'm doing. And so she kept telling me, I'm ready. I feel good. And so, you know, be that person in your own ear or find somebody to be that person in your ear to tell you that as you go through this process. Just like Sal said, follow that out. You go starter all the way through as it's laid out, not more than what is in there. Then you go from there to MAPS 15 as it's laid out, not more from there. And the only thing that's more is walks. You can go take walks. I'm all good for that. But you do that, focus on hitting your protein intake and nourishing the body right now. And you'll be back in no time.
Are you nursing? Are you not?
No, I'm fully weaned off of it now. So body's back to just me for the first time in quite a long time.
Good. Do you take creatine?
I do. I the past, I would say 2 months, I've taken it consistently.
Good. How many grams a day are you taking?
I'm doing 5 right now.
Yeah, try 10.
Okay.
Try 10 for the brain.
Break it out.
Okay.
Break it up.
2 doses. That'll be good for brain. And then do you hit your target body weight and protein?
So that's been my main focus. I know I'm eating the kids' scraps right now. I know I need to, focus a little bit more on getting what I really truly need to fuel myself for these workouts coming up. So, and that was something I wanted to ask you guys too. I don't really have like a weight target, right? Like I don't necessarily feel awful right now. I just want to build muscle. So should I kind of hit that protein for the weight that I'm currently at, or do you think I should try to increase it a little bit?
Where are you at right now?
Yeah, how tall are you and how much do you weigh?
So I'm 5'4" and I'm 135.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, 130.
Yeah, 130 grams protein.
Yep, that's a good target.
Here's here's what you go: 35 to 40 grams of protein, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Throw in a shake. You're done.
Yep. Perfect.
But like you said, hit that consistently. That paired with starter in the programs, that's what's going to
I'm
going to
warn you again, Alex. If you follow our advice and you start hitting the protein targets and you're following starter, 2 to 3 weeks in, you're going to feel like Superwoman and you're going to want to push it.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, I know he said this, but I feel amazing. I'm going to get after it. And that's where stuff starts to break down. So just follow it, just trust it, and you'll see your body's going to respond. You'll feel amazing. It'll be a perfect progression.
The goal is to do as little as possible to elicit the most amount of change. That's what you're doing. Just as little as possible.
Yeah, and I am home with my kids. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I know a lot of my energy also goes there. So I need to, and 100%. I think I'll have the same problem as your wife, trying to slow myself down. But
Do you have weights at home?
Yes.
Oh,
we
you're
have, like a full gym set up, my husband and I.
Oh, you're
that's-
set.
that's awesome.
Yeah, starter's easy too. You
Yeah.
just need a physio ball and then you're done. You got the rest of it and you're good.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
You're going to do great.
Good job. You want to check
Thank
back
you,
in?
guys.
You want to
Yes.
check in like 3 months?
Awesome. I'd love to. I
All right.
appreciate you guys so much. And you guys have been a great podcast. It's been nice to listen to you guys and have, realistic, advice for where I am in my life.
Yeah, good. We'll have you on in 3 months, and then based off that, we'll send you another program so you don't have to get it, right?
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. We'll see you
Thanks
then,
so
Alex.
much, guys.
You got it.
See ya.
Bye-bye. I'm glad she called in.
Yeah.
It's I've been speaking to this a few times now in the most recent podcast, but there's so much misleading information to women who've had children, and it comes from these fitness fanatic influencers that are like, I just had my baby 6 months ago. Look at me. No, it takes a while, dude. It takes way longer than they communicate. And then if you have babies back to back, which 6 months is back to back, that'll do a number.
a lot for the body
on
to
your-
go through.
And your pelvic floor muscles really get affected, okay? Not just from the delivery, but just from the stretching and the growing baby. And so this is where you hear women will say things like, oh, I do a jumping jack and I pee myself or whatever. Running postpartum, terrible. Strengthen your pelvic floor first before you go run, because that's an injury waiting to happen.
Isn't Corinne working on a postpartum guide right now?
Yeah.
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 Awesome. Hopefully it'll be out soon.
Our next caller is Sarah from Tennessee.
Hi, Sarah.
How you doing, Sarah?
Hello.
Oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Thank you guys so much for all the awesome content. You guys have taught me so much. Okay, so my question is, how can I safely fast without compromising muscle? I've been an athlete my whole life, and I've actually been doing Jessie Hilgenberg's programs. I found her 16 years ago, and so I count my macros and all that. But I'm not super religious about it. I mainly track my protein, but I will say when I track macros, I do much better at actually eating all the food I need to eat. I used to fast once a week, kind of more for spiritual practices. But then as I've gotten older, I've become more concerned about losing muscle mass. And I do feel like my spiritual life does better when I have some kind of fasting in my life. The last time I did a fast, I mainly did it was gross. I did. I wanted to get all my macros. So I basically did oil, I would drink protein shakes with oil or juice in them. It did the trick, but if you guys have any tips for me, I would welcome anything that you guys have.
Yeah, this is a great question, Sarah. Are you Christian?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. If you're fasting for spiritual purposes, right, which is denying yourself, denying the flesh, and you're trying to circumvent that but I'm going to do this thing over here to not lose muscle, then don't do the fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
If it's a form of submission, God knows your heart, and so from a spiritual perspective, if it's for spiritual purposes, if you're worried about the muscle loss and you're trying to hack it somehow and figure out how to get around it, it's like, what it reminds me of? It's like teenagers, not having sex but doing everything else, because they're like, well, we're not supposed to do that, so we'll do this other stuff. So my advice is don't fast. But if you're doing it for spiritual purposes, then just do
Also,
it. And honestly, it's not going to make that.
Well,
big
as
of a
I say,
difference.
that's also, Sarah, keep in mind, if you are 6 days a week, you hit macros, lift weights, do your thing, one day of fasting, you are not losing muscle.
No, you're fine.
You're not losing muscle.
Yeah.
You don't have
Okay.
There's not a risk
if
for
you
that.
if you hit macros, especially your protein intake, let's say you don't even hit all your macros, but you hit your protein intake consistently through the week and you're lifting weights,
You're fine.
You are fine to not eat anything and have nothing but water all day for a day, and you're not going to compromise muscle. You will not.
Yep, you'll be just fine.
You'll be totally fine. Yes. So there's nothing for you to worry about from that. Now, if you rarely ever hit protein intake and miss macros, and then you also add a fast on there, then but it's not the fast fault. I'd say it's more because you're inconsistent with hitting macros and your protein the rest of the week. That's really doing the damage. So that's where as long as you're consistent and doing good with that, the fast is fine. And maybe that's how I would decide if I was going to do a fast on Sunday, or whatever day it is. It's like, hey, I did really good this week. I got my lifting in. I hit my macros. You know what? Now I'm on Sunday or whatever, I'm going to fast. That's a great idea. Not a great idea if you're inconsistent with your eating.
There's also other ways to fast too. I mean, you can fast from food. You can fast from electronics.
That's right.
You can fast from gossip or whatever. There's other ways to fast if you're doing it for spiritual purposes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I definitely feel like fasting from food is like, it definitely helps me feel more grounded. I've done water fast too, and I felt really grounded for the rest of the week. And I'm very disciplined with I'm disciplined in general, but I really like hitting my macros. I like getting those goals every day. But I'm glad to hear that it's not really going to make that big of a difference, because as a woman, I will say that you guys constantly telling us that, we don't need to be overtraining and under eating. That has really impacted me a lot. And my hormone levels have been so much better since I have eaten consistently. And the week before menstruation, when I'm normally like insane, it has completely like alleviated that. So I think there's like a fear here of like, okay, if I take one day off a week, am I going to be insane because I took that one day off,
Yeah, no, you're going to be good, Sarah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're really good about doing the other stuff the rest of the week, you're going to be good. In fact, you're going to get great benefits from it.
Yeah. And if you do feel like it's not great, then I would say try other fasts.
Yeah.
Because everybody's a little different, but I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. I love fasting from tech. I think tech for a day, no tech,
Yeah,
no phone and no tech for a day is
same here, because I could fast from food way easier than from tech.
Stay away from the news. All that stuff.
I think that stuff is just as nasty and dangerous for us and awful for us, and such a good practice to do.
It's also harder for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I have the privilege of, like, we have a landline because my husband is like, I cannot reach you on your phone because my phone's normally on airplane mode.
Great.
Love that.
Good for you.
Yeah. I'm definitely in my own world here.
That's good. That's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be fine though, Sarah. If you're fast one time a week, especially if you're hitting protein throughout the rest of the week, you'll be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I appreciate your input. Thanks, guys.
All right, Sarah.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. It's so important when you ask somebody why they're fasting. Fasting for fat loss, bad idea. Fasting for whatever, for spiritual purposes, there's lots of value.
Sure.
But then you got to be, again, and by the way, I'm not speaking out of this because I'm perfect. This is the same struggle I have. You'll do something for spiritual purposes, but then what you'll do is try to control it, and it loses its value. Of course. Because you're
justifying it somewhere else. It doesn't need to be.
You're not giving it up. You're not going like, this is for you. It's like, well, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to control these levers so that I don't lose muscle, so that and like you brought up fasting from electronics. If you gave me the choice, I would fast from food because electronics is way harder for me.
Yeah.
So I know that would be the one that probably benefit
right, which is even more reason why if you're doing it for spiritual reasons, that's the direction you go.
That's right.
So I think anybody who knows that they have a vice or a draw or a pull to something, especially something worldly, and you're doing it for spiritual reasons, it doesn't have to be food. Food is just what it was hundreds of years ago. It was so popular. It's like there's so many things today that you can just be like,
but
it's just supposed to be to interrupt, what your normal daily routine is, and so you can focus on higher things.
But there are two ways this gets manipulated spiritually. One is the person who wants to restrict their food. And so then they use the fasting for spiritual purposes as an excuse.
Right.
I'm doing this for spiritual purposes, but really deep down, it's so I can starve myself. Then on the other end, you get the I'm going to do this thing, but maybe it's the bodybuilder or the fitness enthusiast, but I'm going to drink amino acids all day and protein shakes all day because that technically is liquid.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose muscle. And again, you're losing the reason why you're doing it in the first place.
Well, I mean, our space has done a poor job of having those type of articles out there and things to scare people.
Well, and not to mention, if you are good with your lifting and consistency with your macros during the week, I would argue there's nothing but good benefits for that day of fasting. You're not going to lose muscle. I remember when I thought the same way too, though.
Yeah.
I remember I thought if I went 2 hours without
let alone a day,
panic.
So I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, it's not true.
Our next caller is Natalie from Oregon.
Hi, Natalie.
How you doing, Natalie?
Hello. Nice to see you all.
You too. Doing? How can we help you?
Yes. So I have listened for about 2 years. I have done 2 MAPS programs, anabolic twice and performance once. And what I would love help with is having a successful cut, losing that last 10 pounds, like those hardest last 10 pounds. So I've listened to your advice over these last years, and I've actually reverse dieted. I'm on my 3rd reverse diet. So I bulked 3 different times and about to start my 3rd cut. And especially the last one that I tried, I just feel like, looking at the data, all I did was lose what I had gained during the bulk. And I really wasn't much leaner. I paid attention to my measurements for that. And my daughter's in the background there. And I just don't think, I think I really just lost about what I had gained. I think that my body is amazing at adjusting. And so when I cut calories, my body real quick is like, all right, this is our new maintenance. Awesome. And my timeline is on May 31st is my 6th anniversary, and my husband and I will be going on a belated honeymoon. So we got married during COVID in 2020, and we've never been anywhere together. We've been to the beach together, but we haven't traveled on a plane together. So this will be our first trip. My mom's going to watch our daughter, and I would love to feel confident in a bathing suit for this trip.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
This is super common, by the way, not just for normal people, even at the competitive level, these people that do this professionally, where they bulk up and then they cut down and they basically lose the muscle that they built up on the bulk. And a lot of that is due to too aggressive of a cut. In fact, you were probably doing even better in the bulk and the calories that we cut down to, and or the activity, because typically what tends to happen is they get motivated in the cut and they increase activity like crazy. They cut the calories so they can see the scale move really fast. And what ends up happening is they lose as much muscle as they did fat. When you did the reverse diet, how high did you get your calories to?
So right now I'm eating, I attempted 2,900 last week, and my waist started to go up a little bit. I've been like creeping up there, so I'm backing down to 2,800. So
that's great.
That's good. That's good.
So my goal is just to not have my waist go up much. But when I bulked over the spring last year and then cut, I went right up to 2,800, and I think that was actually too much. So when I did my first cut from 2,800, it was to 2,300. I did that for 4 weeks, and I lost 1 pound. So I think because it wasn't my maintenance, I didn't actually know what my maintenance was because I was gaining. My waist did go up. It was too much, I think, that first time, but I do think I've gained more muscle and did it more slowly since that time. So now right around 2,800, I'm hoping is my maintenance. I feel like I need a little more data.
Natalie, I want a little bit more context. You look pretty lean in your shoulders and your arms. Yeah. What's your body fat percentage at?
No clue. I've never done a DEXA, and I haven't had a picture in like 15 years.
How tall are you, and how much you weigh?
So I am 5'3". I weigh about 131, 132 pounds. Oh, wow. I would guess I'm around 25% body fat if I had to guess.
Okay.
Yeah, you're probably pretty lean.
Yeah, you might even be lower based off of your shoulders and arms. It's hard to tell, but I can see your delts. I can see your arms. Typically for a woman to have that, you're probably low 20s.
Yeah.
Which here's what happens. If you're in the low 20s and you're building and you're strong, you're reverse dieting, it's this game of mini cut, mini bulk to get down even leaner. Because once you get down to like 22, 21 for some women, for a lot of women, the body starts to fight it a little bit and not want to go. And so you kind of have to play this game, and it just takes a little bit of time. How are your lifts? Because you said, I seen your email, you ran MAPS Anabolic, Mass Performance. How strong are you? Can you give me an idea?
So not strong compared to a lot of the women I've heard call in, but I've made improvements. So yesterday I did, my squat was, my last 4 reps were 145.
That's great.
I did a sumo deadlift of 195.
These are reps. This is great.
Incline bench 75, and yesterday my overhead press was 65 for sets of 4.
You're strong.
Yeah, you're really
strong.
Natalie, how many steps do you take a day? Do you have any idea what your activity level looks like?
Yeah, in a week, I average about 8,500.
Okay. Is that like you going out of your way to walk, or is that just kind of your normal activity?
I definitely have to put in some effort to get that. Like sometimes I'm just running in place in my house at night because with living in Oregon and the weather.
I mean, I have a pretty good guess of where I would want you, and I think you would but here's the temptation you're going to have because you have a thing coming up, and so you're going to want to push it. I bet hitting around 2,600 to 2,700 calories, trying to hit 10,000 steps every day, and maybe switching the MAPS program to a new one that you haven't done yet, and you're going to see
a nice slow change.
You're going to get a beautiful slow change. You're not going to have to cut calories aggressively. You're not really trying to reverse diet anymore. You're just kind of landing in this. And what that will do is this. If I can get your steps up 2,000 steps a day, I know I'm going to increase a little bit more activity and burn, just a little bit more. If I switch to MAPS program, it's going to be novel. And there's going to be periods of time in the next 2 months where you're in a little bit of a deficit, so you're going to lean out a little bit. And sometimes you're going to be in a tiny bit maybe of a maintenance surplus, and so you're going to build a little bit. And what that'll do is keep you from losing any muscle. Maybe we even gain a pound or so during that time, but leaning out the whole time. If we just hover there, it sounds like you're in a really good place. When you eat those 2,900 calories right now, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're stuffed? Do you feel satisfied? How do you like that amount of food?
I like it.
Oh yeah. See, I like
you're doing good.
You're probably really, and the scale can get in your head of like, it's not really moving, but change will be happening. If you increase your steps to 10,000 steps a day, you just focus on trying to stay strong, land around that 2,700 calorie range or so. Don't dip below 2,600. That's kind of your mark, 26 to 2,700 range. And just stay consistent. I think
you'll have a nice change.
You're going to lean out and you're going to build muscle at the same time.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything dramatic. You're strong. Your body weight is good. I would guess your body fat percentage is good. We're looking at building and losing a little bit over time. Programming. I love what Adam said with programming. Let's get you strong. So like a MAPS, you can do like a power lift, muscle mommy, strong. All three of those programs would probably be great. Mm-hmm. I think that would be the best advice. And your energy probably is good. I'm assuming energy, sleep, libido feels good. Your hormones feel balanced.
Sleep is the one, but I have a 4-year-old and I'm 44. So, I don't always get 7 hours, but I'm in bed a good amount of time. And sometimes I'm awake.
Yeah. You look amazing. I wouldn't have guessed your age, by the way. You look amazing. I think what Adam said is exactly the right advice.
I mean, I feel like I kind of have a body type similar to this, where when I cut too aggressively, I lose weight, but I lose muscle right off. I do better in this kind of maintenance or surplus.
Same.
I have to be eating enough to keep that muscle on my body. Otherwise, it just comes right off with the body fat. And so I can drop weight on the scale, but I lose and so I do much better staying closer to my maintenance and leaning slowly than I do trying to aggressively. Not everybody's like that. I've shared on the show, and how long you listen, I had an ex-girlfriend that was the opposite. She could starve her body, train like a mad woman, and never lose any muscle, and she would slowly lose body fat. I'm different like that. I lose muscle really quick if I don't stimulate it. I don't feed it like what it wants. And I think you're kind of like that. I think you'll do better in a closer to maintenance calorie range, so hovering around that 26, 2,700, and then just try your best to get 10,000 steps in a day. Really make that your new average of like.
If you do this good and you stay consistent when's your trip? May 31st?
It's in 17 weeks. I just checked. So May 31st.
Oh yeah, you could drop 3% body fat. By then, which you'll see.
Oh God, yeah.
And it sounds slow, but you'll keep muscle if not build something.
And if we do a really good job of this, you drop down the 26, 27, and we don't see major movement on the scale. Mm-hmm. The scale doesn't really
just looks different.
Yeah, the scale shouldn't move very much. It should kind of maybe a pound or two, but like it should kind of hover around there, and that tells me you're having this beautiful exchange of sometimes we're in a little bit of a building phase, sometimes we're in a little cut, and you're having a nice little exchange. So that you don't want to see any dramatic drops or increases, but you shouldn't see an increase if you're already up to 2,900 calories and you come down to 27.
Okay. Because I know the biggest thing I'd like to see is my waist. Like, again, I know I'm comparing myself to like my old self because I've lifted for 20 years, but I haven't always done proper strength training with good amount of rest time. And so looking at like and I've had a kid, but looking at measurements from like 10 or 15 years ago, and it's like my waist is just staying right around that 27 inches. And I want to see it get a little
I think this way it'll do that. If you want to add something, add like the stomach vacuum exercises that we talk about. That'll help That'll help strengthen the core, which will draw in the stomach
It's
a
a
little bit.
TVA exercise.
I
So
haven't heard of those.
Oh,
Okay.
you never? Okay,
Oh,
we
yeah.
have on our Mind Pump TV channel.
I'll have Doug send you the video.
Yeah.
So I'll have Doug send you over the video. Practice those throughout the day. These are great for working on those internal muscles that will draw the stomach in. And that will actually, a lot of times, will make someone's waist look like it's half an inch to an inch smaller just by getting stronger in the core areas. Doing that with the advice I'm giving you, I think you will see and feel a difference within 30, 45 days already. But stay the course. Stay the course.
You're doing great.
You are doing great.
You're eating
thank
almost 3,000 calories a day.
Yes.
You're really strong.
Yes.
You're doing really good.
Yeah. I think your body does better fed than it does cutting.
Here's
That's
the
what I
deal,
think.
and now it makes sense. You've been lifting for 20 years, albeit maybe not as good.
Not nearly as with very long, like year-long breaks in the middle.
Fine.
I was all in or all out.
Fine, but my point is, if
Muscle
you
memory's there,
here's the problem with someone like you who's been doing it for a while, and you're strong already. You're lean, you're fit, you're feeling good, you're eating, your metabolism's humming, especially for someone your size. That's a lot of calories.
Mm-hmm.
If you push too hard in any direction, you're going to get negative results.
Yep.
Okay.
Like you go too hard in any direction,
Yeah.
you're just not going to be happy with the results.
Yeah.
So the best bet for you is exactly what Adam said. You drop 100, maybe 200 calories, and you walk a little more, and then watch what happens. By the time you're ready to go, you'll see the change.
Okay. I will give that a shot.
Yeah,
You're
you
going
got
to do good. I'd love to hear back from you about 30, 45 days too, I think.
Do you have Muscle Mommy?
No, is that I do work from home. Or
That's fine.
Work out from home.
That's fine.
Yeah, well, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that from home.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
send it to you.
We'll send it to
we
you.
have a home program.
Okay, great. That sounds good. Thank you all so much.
All right,
got it.
Natalie.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I can always tell by the delts.
Yeah.
So as she's talking, I'm like, you look like
You
you're
got
pretty
some
lean
muscle
and
there.
muscular.
Yeah.
So we'll see about
Yeah,
that.
and great numbers. Strong.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. And great metabolism. 2,900 calories.
and lean and fit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
She's not like she's doing tons of
I'm
exercise.
telling you right now that she like, this is me where
Yeah, no, you hit the
if
nail on the
I
head.
go real aggressive on a cut, I'll drop weight on the scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I lose muscle as fast. So it's like
I've gotten leaner by increasing my calories.
yeah.
I'm like that too.
Yes, I do better at just kind of staying fed. If I stay fed and hover around maintenance, that's enough for me to lean out slowly, and I just don't do good in real cuts. It's like I think every body type is a little bit different. I think understanding that the client and how they are, the advice ends up being different because if you're somebody who has a really hard time building muscle, then I feel like that same person has a really easy time losing weight on the scale, but then the muscle comes right off with it.
Yeah, Justin, you have to starve yourself.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, I know you liked that episode. If you did, check this one out. 30% body fat. For men, this is way too high. This is actually a bit high for women as well. So in today's episode, we're talking about how you can go from 30 to 10. What is 10% body fat? This is when you have a visible six-pack. Can you go from 30 to 10%? Yes, it's possible, but not if you guess along the way. So we're going to talk about how you can do that in today's episode.
Now, there's a huge range, right, of like body types.
Yes.
Some people can run a little bit heavier or a little bit higher body.